So I'm here with my friend and client Niket, who's going to give me another video testimonial. So when we started together in January,
January, yeah.
yeah, we started together in January. He was in the worst shape he'd been in a while, and he'd been that way for a while. I'll put a photo up right here, and he had a pretty incredible transformation. So a couple things about Niket is he's a vegetarian, and he had a couple injuries we had to work around, like tendons and stuff like that, ligaments that he needed to strengthen first. So his first 2 months, I believe, he just worked out with the equipment he had at home in his like garage style gym and did push-ups, pull-ups, calves, abs, some bicep training, some chest training. But it wasn't for 2 months that he got into the gym. And now we're in June. He had his transformation photo that I'll put up here in May, so it was roughly 120 days. But he's even more ripped now. Show him your six pack you got going on. He's pretty freaking ripped right now. Pinch it. There's like very little fat from the before picture to after. So he's got totally ripped. So he totally adhered to the program and got the results he wanted. So I just had a couple questions for you, bro.
Yeah, sure, man.
So what made you finally kind of want to take the plunge and work with the professional coach who could get you from point A to point B in the fastest way possible, you know?
So, long story short, I used to be basically this size, but never the definition I wanted. I did rock climbing, went to the gym, did yoga, all that stuff, but I never tracked my food. And then a few years back, I kind of let myself go. So you guys will see in the before picture, it was pretty big, and I was flabby, lost a lot of muscle.
He looked almost pregnant in the before photo.
Yeah. So at the end of last year, 2025, in December, a mutual friend of ours told me, hey, I want you to find a training program. And I had known about you through a couple mutual friends, some of your clients. So I decided to just DM AJ off of Instagram, and I was upfront about everything. I said, hey, I'm vegetarian. I've been out of shape for a while. I have these past injuries, so I want to go slow. And you know what AJ said? He said, so you have permission to let me slow you down. So he will take you wherever you're at. So he took me at a place where I wanted to go slow, not injure myself, and had me only do home workouts 3 times a week for the first 2 months. Then once my tendons and stuff were strengthened up with mainly body weight, a little dumbbell.
Specifically, what was your issue? It was like something with like not your wrist. It was like, what was it?
I had prior like finger injuries from rock climbing, which
rock climbing injuries. There we go.
Yeah, and also maybe some tendonitis in different places. I had injured my shoulder back in 2023, little tweak in the AC joint. So that was the big one that I told him to watch out for.
So one of the main things that I'm able to get people from point A to point B is I don't give them a crazy diet that doesn't fit their lifestyle of foods that they don't really like or things they don't really like to eat. I believe that it's lifestyle, and you need to be able to eat the things you like if you're going to adhere to the diet and maintain to it long term, and not just get in shape for a week or a month to maintain it long term. So I pretty much allow you to eat anything you want that's within your macros. But how's that been for you? Some guys, it's really hard because it makes them want to binge. But for you, you really like to geek out and go sciencey on it to make sure that you could eat the things you liked, and you're consistently, tagging me in these really interesting meals and really fun meals and like classic Indian dishes, or like, spicing stuff up. Like, what's that been like for you to be able to eat like that? Because a lot of people think you look like him or you look like me, that we're just eating broccoli and chicken and rice and chicken salad and tilapia. But we're not eating any of that stuff unless we want to. We're eating the things we like in a way that's congruent with our goals. So talk about that for a minute.
So in the beginning, it was a little tough, but you told me hit this protein goal, and then everything else is adjusted after that. Protein first, then you adjust the fats, and whatever's left over, you do carbs. And now Indian food is very carb heavy, also very fat heavy. So I had to find ways to get a lot of the protein I needed. So for me, I would just hit a couple protein shakes a day. And just for the record, I don't use whey protein. I don't use soy. I use pure plant protein. So I know a lot of people may not want whey, may not want soy. There's all sorts of options available. And as far as the food tracking goes, I was able to use AI a lot, and that's a tool we can use like all the time now. And basically, you can take a picture of a certain amount of food, and maybe put a fork or a knife next to it, and just tell the AI, "Hey, this is like my mom's home cooked meal. Here's a fork to scale, and it's made with a slight reasonable amount of oil. This, that, X, Y, Z," and it will tell you the macros for you, and then
Yeah,
you
it
can
makes
just
it
put that.
convenient for
Yeah.
sure.
And if you really want to geek out like I do, you can carry on a little scale like I do. And
Yeah, he busts out the scale like
yeah,
at like restaurants and stuff. You can do that. If you don't care, nobody cares that much. And at the end of the day, you can't argue with the results you got.
in
So
my experience, a lot of people, when they see me pull out the scale, they're curious about it. And when I tell them I'm tracking my macros and stuff, and they see the transformation, they actually respect it. So in the moment, at first, you might feel a little weird. Am I being the geek? Am I being the weird guy? But do they have the results? No. Like
yeah,
AJ's got the results, you know,
yeah.
all
If
his,
they
all,
don't have what you want, don't listen to them.
yeah.
Unless they've had it, and then you got to find out how they lost
And
it.
I'll just finish by saying, with the food thing, you can eat whatever you want. You just need to modify it in certain ways. So I really like the Indian food, but a lot of the breads are really high in fat and high in carbs. So you can get a lower calorie carb bread at the store, or you can maybe, instead of making a roti with like the enriched wheat flour, you can do a hack and make it with oat flour, and it'll be like half the calories, and
Little
it'll
changes.
taste good. Yeah.
You don't change it too much because then you lose that flavor you like.
Yeah.
So, your friend told you you need to get in shape, and you took it to heart. I have free challenges. Why did you opt to work with me on one of my direct one-on-one, like customized paid programs, instead of just like one of the free challenges with the generalized meal plans and workouts?
So our mutual friend is also a coach, and he coaches in networking and stuff. So I had seen great results with that. And I knew that the one-on-one coaching and the accountability is what really gets you there. Because you can go into ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and say, "Hey, build me out a plan. I want to get $100,000 next year. I want to get a six-pack next year." But most people, they're not going to have the discipline to follow that unless they have someone who can guide them.
Yeah, AIs are informational but not too relatable.
Yeah, like, I mean, it goes in all aspects. I mean, that's why if you want to learn meditation, go to Meditation Master. You can learn it at home by yourself if you want, but in most things, like even elite level athletes, performers, actors, they have coaches too. You might be the best tennis player in the world, but you still have a coach. So
Yeah.
everyone needs a coach.
It's common. I like coaching.
Yeah.
I have coaches. What's been your favorite part about the program, and also what have the workouts been like? Are they boring? Are they challenging? Are they fun? And overall, what's been your experience with the program?
So the best part of the program is the community that AJ's built. And so we have weekly group calls where people can ask questions. It's a shooting board for ideas. AJ will give little pep talks sometimes. Sometimes he'll go to different people and say, "Hey, how's this going for you? How's that going for you?" And
So if somebody has a question that I know somebody else struggled with and they can answer, I like to do that because it builds the camaraderie. And sometimes when you make the change and you pull the trigger and you go, "Hey, I don't want this life for myself anymore," your whole social and friend group is still doing what you used to be doing. So it can be sometimes lonely, it can be monotonous, and it's nice to have, the camaraderie of a group of guys with the growth mindset that are on the self-improvement journey, doing the same stuff as you, struggling with the same things as you. So the community is definitely
another
awesome.
thing is that I can message you pretty much any time. I can book a one-on-one call with you if I really need it. And AJ puts people in different phases, and he has a plan for you. You may not see it, but he sees it.
Blueprint. I got a blueprint for you.
So he might say, "All right, you're in phase 1, you're in phase 2, you're in phase 3," and in your mind you're like, "What's going on?" But then as you progress along that journey, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I see what he's doing." So it's more like you put in the work and put in the action first, and then you see where you are in the journey. You're not going to know where you are until you take that first step. Otherwise, you're just going to be sitting there thinking like, "Do I go this way? Do I go that way?" So in the beginning, I would message AJ like all the time.
Yeah, you you got to get locked in. You have concerns. I can't be useful to you if you don't use me, and you need to ask me questions and not be shy or nervous about it. You need to reach out, ask the questions so I could help you out and solve the problems for you.
Yeah, the people, AJ's clients who make the greatest transformations are the ones who reach out to him the most with the most questions. And I'm not talking about like hypothetical questions. I'm talking about you've taken a little bit of action and you've gotten the feedback personally, but you want to shoot it by an expert so he can give you like what this actually means. Like when I do this exercise, you know, I feel it here instead of here, and AJ would be like, oh, maybe correct your form a little bit, and you know.
Yeah, it's big on that.
So I send him, yeah, exactly, the bicep curl. He corrected me on a call, real time, on a group call, because I was at the gym streaming, and he's like, don't do that,
Yeah,
you know,
turn
do
your wrist
this.
back a little, yeah.
So, and you can send your workout videos to him. The very first home workout I did, I recorded everything and sent it on an album to him.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
And, you know, we correct the form. That's how you get it right. We don't want you getting hurt. We don't want you wasting time. We want you doing it right. So I do it that way. Next question, maybe last question, unless you got some for me. To people who are like kind of on the fence about making the change and coaching in general, what has been your quality of life increase, losing the fat, getting disciplined, getting stronger, getting your cardio up, getting your strength up? How's your confidence? Talk about that a little bit.
It's just life changing. You obviously, when you lose the weight, you feel much lighter. And when you gain that strength, you just get more energy. I mean, obviously, when you go to the gym, you're gonna be tired afterwards. But overall, you have a lot of energy. And when you see the same people at the gym, or you see the same people every day in your life, and they see you like not only get smaller in terms of like losing fat, but your muscles are getting bigger. They just say, wow, like the change is like fantastic.
Yeah, they notice.
Yeah. And then you walk around with that confidence. So it's when you carry a lot of weight and you're a little out of shape, that weighs not only on you physically, weighing on you because of the pounds, but it weighs on you mentally too.
Yeah, if you don't like how you look in the mirror, you carry that around with you.
Exactly.
Right on. So best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. Next best time is right now, today. So if you don't like where you're at, if you don't like how you look in the mirror, you don't like your habits, change them today. Tomorrow is the day in which all human productivity lies, and even more, and I'll do it next week. So, you know, don't sit on your hands. Take action.
And remember, do you want to stay the way you are for another month, 2 months, 3 months, doing the same thing you're doing now? Or do you want to take that step now and then start the journey?
Awesome. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Give him a bicep flex. Yeah. All right. Talk to you guys soon.